What's up everybody, my name's Big Cam and welcome back to another movie review, and today we are talking about 2013's Elysium, starring Matt Damon and Jodie Foster. And this is from director Neill Blomkamp, and I just recently did one of his movie reviews of District 9, and I've done like Gran Turismo back last year when that movie came out. And other than that, the only other movie that he has in his filmography that I'm really wanting to see that I don't think I have would be Chappie. I heard good things about that one as well. But I feel like this movie, as well as District 9, is one of those sci-fi movies when, like, you know, the cast is good and, like, it seems like it's going to be great. And then it just kind of falls short a little bit, you know, like, and it just... I don't know what it is about these two movies, you know, like that one, I think it was the way it was shot and the lack of cast. This one has a great cast, so like I'm willing to stick around for Matt Damon, and I like him, and I'm a Boston guy, so like, you know, I'm a big Matt Damon guy, and I'm, you know, gonna stick around to see what happens to him. And I've seen this movie before, but it had been a really long time, so, you know, rewatching it, I was like, I don't know if I like this as much as I like remembered I liked it, you know what I mean? But like the cast in this from 2013, Matt Damon, Jodie Foster, Sharlto, Copley, who's in all of Neill Blomkamp's stuff, Diego Luna, who is Andor, most people know him as now from Star Wars Andor, but they maybe also know him from Narcos Mexico. Diego Luna, I love. WAGNER MOURA, he was in Narcos and he played Pablo Escobar, and he most recently was in Civil War as like a photographer, like a reporter type of thing, and he was really good in that actually. But nobody saw Civil War, so I'm wondering, you know, what's the deal with that? Elise Braga's in here as Frey, and I really like her. She's like really cute. Farhan Tahir, who was like the 10 Rings in Iron Man 1. William Fichtner, who I know from like random TV shows that my mom watched, like there was this Married with Kids or something like that, or like Two Broke Moms or something like that. It was like this mom and her daughter, and they both were living in the same house, and he played a guy with a wheelchair, and that show was really funny. I liked him in that. But he was also, you know, the guy with the shotgun at the very beginning in the bank in The Dark Knight. Do you and your friends know who you're robbing? You and your friends are dead, you know, like, and then he puts the smoke bomb in his mouth, like that's him. But it says he's been in 80 movies, so he's definitely been around a long time. But so like a pretty decent cast, and then you're following, you know, Diego Luna's like his best old pal, and WAGNER MOURA playing Spider is like the guy that he's like used to work for and is into like some illegal shit, but he's trying to get back up to like their like space station, which is like where they live because Earth's a shithole and now they're living up there. And honestly, I was watching this Elysium and it almost feels like a sequel to District 9. Like almost like Neill Blomkamp was like writing a sequel to District 9 and then was like, why don't I just make this other movie, Elysium, and like kind of just pivoted it into a new movie. But, you know, I feel like there was some bones in this that could have been a District 9 sequel, but they kind of were like, hey, let's not do aliens on Earth again. Let's go like... This is more like technology and like robots and AI and that type of thing is like the bad guy. And, you know, the person that owns the AI is like the real bad guy type of shit. And they're all up on Elysium, this like space station in, you know, where they live in perfect climate and it's beautiful and it's, you know, green plush grass and they're like in space, but there's, you know, it's like built to be perfection and clean air and nobody dies of cancer and they have medical facilities that can cure you of anything. And it's like, it's got a sweet story, but I just don't know if it really is that good. Like, I don't, like, my review I left on it on Letterboxd last night was, didn't do enough to make me really care like about what's going on, but the cast was pretty good and they've all gone on to do much bigger, better things, you know. And I love Matt Damon, so I stuck around, and Jodie Foster's always great, you know, and she's like kind of the villain in this, which isn't normally her role, as like the bad person, you know what I mean? But she did a good job and Matt Damon did a good job. It looks pretty good, you know, and the cast is pretty good. So overall, I gave it about 3 out of 5 stars, about a 6 out of 10. But comment below. I'm having trouble with this one, articulating what I didn't like about it. But my feeling, my gut's telling me I didn't love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not telling me I hated it. because there is things that I like the actors and the cast in it. But watching it originally, I wanted to say I liked it. And then watching it again for maybe the second time, but maybe just the second time for the first time in a long time. And I don't know, there's something about this film, this and District 9. District 9 I could articulate maybe what I didn't like a little bit more in that video, and I think that video came out last week. But this movie, Elysium, for a movie that has, like, you know, a good cast, and Jodie Foster, Matt Damon, like, it's got a lot going for it, and yet it still kind of just falls a little short for me. And it's not that it looks bad, or if it, you know, maybe it's the script, but there's something with this that I just don't know if I love it or not, you know? And it's one of those things where if it's not a big name IP sci-fi movie like Star Wars or Star Trek or Blade Runner, I don't know, but, you know, sci-fi movies, if they're not like a big name IP, then it seems like they're either hit or miss. And a lot of times they're misses, you know? And maybe I just wasn't in the mindset for this movie last night. It's just that, you know, like, I just wasn't willing to accept the movie last night, like, for as what it is, and I was just kind of like, you know, feeling like, I don't know if I want to watch this type of thing. So maybe it was a little bit of that, like, it's a fine movie, but I don't know if this was the movie I wanted to watch last night, you know? Like, I've been in the mood to watch, you know, some feel-good stuff, or like rewatch some stuff that I haven't watched in a while, you know, and sometimes you're like, oh, well, you gotta watch a new movie that you haven't seen so you can do a movie review on it tomorrow. And maybe I forced myself into this one a little too much, and then that made my experience not that good. But, you know, I'm just trying to be real and realistic with you, and, you know, tell you, normally I tell you guys straight up how I feel about the movie, and this time I'm having a little bit of conflicting feelings. My gut's telling me I didn't love it. My brain's telling me it's fine, what's the problem? My heart's telling me, you know, somewhere in the middle is where I'm at, you know? So, I don't know. You guys tell me down in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on this movie? Or you can message me on my other social medias. Links for those down in the description below. And you can follow me on my other social medias, Big Cam, 2Gs and a Big, pretty much anywhere. And if you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is liking this video, commenting down in the comment section below, subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss another movie review when it comes out and you get the notifications. Thank you so much for coming on by and sticking this far into the video. Once again, my name is Big Cam, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!